Greetings, beautiful people. Welcome. I am Tracy T. Mitchell Turner. I am a coach, I am a speaker, and I'm a best-selling author. I am so happy and delighted to be with you guys today. Don't want to take up a lot of your time. I empower faith-based women to help themselves by uplifting and restoring themselves via healthy self-care and wellness practices, doing these things so that they are able to rise and thrive fully in their purpose. So again, I am here if you are a faith-based woman and you want to do more, be more, and be able to fully function in your purpose, then I want to actually help inspire and empower you to do your self-work. Do your self-work, work on you, help you work on you so that you can actually fully work in your purpose for God's kingdom and purpose in you. So that's why I'm here today. The focus of my videos are usually regarding self-care and wellness. And today what we want to zero in on is I want to talk to you about a topic near and dear to my heart. I want to talk to you about moving from being a control freak to becoming completely content, right? So moving from being a control freak to becoming content. And I'm sharing this from my own personal experiences because I am a recovering control freak. I have struggled with being controlling probably my entire life. And so it's not an easy thing to deal with, but by the grace of God, I have been able to overcome and really work on helping myself to be better in that arena, right? So when we think about being a control freak, for a lot of women, it's because for whatever reason, we kind of feel like I have to do something a certain way. I have to say something a certain way. I have to think or feel a certain way because by doing that, I'm able to somehow force a certain outcome or a certain result, right? If I do A and I do it right, then B should be the actual response that I'm going to get, right? So even in my own daily practices, a lot of times I'm preparing and I'm doing a lot of things in advance so that hopefully I can get a positive outcome of what I want to receive, right? And how many of us know that we can do all of the things that we want to do, but unfortunately, it doesn't matter. We don't have control over things outside of us, right? So even as much as we try to do, we can do those things and we again have no way of controlling or knowing what the outcome will be. Sometimes it may work in our favor, and then other times, no matter how much we try to prepare and plan and do what we can, it's still going to work out the way that God intended for it to work out, right? So what ends up happening is because of our controlling nature, it's actually rooted in fear. A lot of times it's fear of the unknown because we don't know what's going to happen, right? So controlling, being a control freak, it's really based upon fear of the unknown and us being able or wanting to be able to say, I don't want anything bad to happen to me. I don't want a negative outcome. So let me do as much as I can to try to control the situation, right? And so there's always that fear of the unknown that's there. So here, in my opinion, here is what the antidote is for being a control freak. I feel the antidote is courage, right? Courage, courage, I believe is the antidote for controlling and the fear of the unknown, I feel that we actually have to be able to take on a spirit of courage. We do know in the Bible, it tells us God does not give us a spirit of fear, but he gives us a spirit of power, of love, and of sound mind. And so when I think about that, and I think about courage, in my own words, I would probably just summarize and say courage as perseverance. And when we think about perseverance, what we're really saying is, if we were in a situation and something bad was about to happen, are we going to have the brave spirit? Are we going to step up and do what we need to do? And typically, when we see examples of courage, we think about bravery, right? We think about the big, strong man standing up and protecting the woman and protecting the family. And yes, that is courage. That is definitely courage. But courage is also doing those simple little things that we know we need to do, but we don't want to do it for whatever reason. We don't feel like it. We don't want to do it. It's not comfortable. It feels bad. So for whatever reason, we continue to make these excuses that prevents us from doing those things. So again, courage is pretty much just being able to do the hard things that you and others are refusing to do, right? That's what courage really looks like. So, give you more examples of courage in simple terms. Courage is being able to choose to go to sleep when you're wide awake and you're like, oh my God, I can stay up all night. Knowing you have to get up in the morning, right? Courage is also if you're attempting to follow a healthy diet and you go to a restaurant and you have all of these unhealthy, tempting options in front of you, right? Are you going to actually still stick to your diet, right? Courage is if you know you need to walk and you need to get on the treadmill and you need to maintain exercise and movement and you don't feel like it, right? You just want to sit down and relax and you don't like the way you feel after you exercise. Your legs burn, your legs hurt, you feel sore afterwards. So because of all of those excuses, you choose to not do what you need to do. And so that's when we have to be able to exercise courage and to persevere in the midst of those struggles, right? So it's literally choosing and making ourselves choose to do what we know we need to do when we need to do it, right? That's courage. So when I further break down courage, I want to give you 2 points that I want you to remember when you think about courage, right? So the first point that I want to talk about with courage is the follow through, right? Courage is all about being able to follow through and do that hard thing that you know you need to do when you need to do it. See, that's that's the thing. It's not just doing the thing, it's doing the thing when you need to do the thing. That's actually what courage is, and that's the follow through, and that is your part, right? That's part 1. Part two of the courage tip, part 2 is there's a God part. There's a God part, and the God part is the flow, right? The flow of God. We have to be able to trust God and being able to just go with God's flow. Wherever God is directing, wherever God is leading, whatever God is telling us to do in this season, we have to be humble, and we have to be open and willing and accepting to say, yes, Lord, I'm going to follow you. If this is what you're sharing and telling me to do, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with your flow. I'm going to align with what you're telling me to do, right? So in my opinion, that's how I would summarize the courage, the two parts of courage. It's your part, follow through, and then God part with being able to trust God and to do what he's telling you to do. Like, I'll give you another good example with that for myself or whatever. I have been in a position at my job. I've been in the same position for about, 7, 8 years. And traditionally, I normally would not stay in a position that long. However, I do remember when I accepted this position, my prayer was, Lord, uh, let me be in this position as long as you would have me in this position. And when it's my time to go, I trust, Lord, that you will open the door and you will help me to transition and move where you would have me to go. And so I said that prayer all those years ago, not knowing that I would still be in this position at this time. And now I still have to remind myself and say, God willing, God, this is my prayer, as long as you will have me in this position. And the key, what I'm sharing is the Holy Spirit, based on my spiritual eyes, not my physical eyes, not based on what I'm actually seeing. Like I was saying, I've been in this role for 7 years, 8 years, but with my spiritual heart and my spiritual eyes. Whenever the Holy Spirit confirms and lets me know without a shadow of a doubt that it's my time to move, and that will probably be whenever I get an offer for like a new position and everything lines up appropriately. It's the right position, it's the right pay, it's the right place, right? So all of those things are going to have to align in order for me to know without a shadow of a doubt that that's what God is confirming, that it's my season is changing, this one is ending, and it's time for me to move. And until that happens, I will stay in this place and I will trust the flow of God, right? So when we move from control freak and then we embrace courage, then we're actually able to be promoted to contentment. And contentment basically is all about just being able to be accepting and being okay with where God has you in that season. Wherever God has you in that season, it's being okay, being thankful, having peace, having joy in that place, no matter where it is, right? Let's just think about it. Whether, as a woman, you're single, you're married, you're divorced, you're widowed, no matter what stage or what season, whether you have a career or maybe you're not working at this time, you have a business, or maybe you don't have a business, right? Maybe you have a family. Maybe you don't have children right now. Maybe you have a pet. Maybe you don't have a pet, right? So all of these different things, but I'm sharing when you can actually move from control freak and then you embrace courage and you literally do your part with follow through and you trust God and you align and go with his flow, then yeah, God will be able to trust you enough to promote you and elevate you to a place of contentment. And guys, I can say for myself, being content, I had to wait a long time to get married, but I am married now, going on 5 years. I mean, that's truly my testimony, and I appreciate the timing and what God allowed me to learn and to grow and to develop into that extended single season. So I just basically say, embrace the place wherever God has you now and be content and be grateful and be thankful, right? And so that is my message, what I wanted to share with you guys today. I hope that this video and this message has been able to inspire you and empower you or help you in some shape, form, or fashion on your journey. So again, my name is Tracy T. Mitchell Turner. Again, I'm a coach, a speaker, and a best-selling author. I do actually have a self-care turn-up challenge that I will be hosting very soon. So please connect with me You can add me as a friend on Facebook. I'm at Tracy T. Mitchell Turner. I'm also on Instagram at T. Mitchell Speaks. Would love to connect with you. I'd love for you to join the Self-Care Turn Up Challenge. And so just join me. Thank you for your time. And I will see you on the next video. God bless.